Starting to find a little consistency in her floor routine. A couple of 9.75s clipping last week against UCLA.
Here, a Britney Spears medley throughout this routine. Oh, so she was supposed to do a 2.5 twist punch front there. Got a little bit lost in the air, so just competed that 1.5, so she'll miss the connection. She needs to do 2 saltos in 1 pass, and then you get a lot of bonus from that 2.5 punch front. So we'll see if she has enough other elements to get to that 10-0 start value. Really uncharacteristic error for her. She's been so good on floor exercise in her career. Looks like she has the double salto pass here with the 1.5 to the double twist. So she will have that required element, but again, will lack the bonus connection that she got from the first pass. That ring leap there, a difficult jump.
That's the part I know. I know toxic. I always remember that.
Yeah, so that while this wasn't a fall, she expected to do 2.5 twists here and actually just does 1.5. So needed to do another full twist and then is supposed to punch front out of that, which is why she was leaning forward. She's used to doing that punch front. So we'll see what happens with her start value. I would anticipate it taking a little bit longer for the judges to figure out her score for that routine.
Tough score for Modi at the 9.775. I always want to give him a little bit more. Navarro.
Just her second time in the lineup. As I mentioned off the top, she went 9.9 in her first competing routine as a Husky last week. She'll do a triple series here. Very difficult, travels the length of the beam. Right to
all of it.
Yes.
I think her back foot's on the cap.
Exactly. I like how she works up high on releve. Coach Llewellyn talked about the details this week. The releve, the looking up into the crowd. She does a difficult dismount here. She does a round off double twist. And finds the stick. Another fantastic
Llewellyn
job
loves it.
by the freshman. Wow.
Navarro already has a 9.85 on vault, and she's scheduled the floor lineup as well.
So this triple series, she does 2 back handsprings into the layout, down the length of the beam. Really well done. And you can see Jen Llewellyn.
Now she knew already.
Yep.
Early reacts.
She can tell by the round off and the punch into that double twist. She's always at the end of the beam, so the gymnasts know they're going to see her cheering them on.
We were talking about it before. You know, she comes in, and this is a lot of pressure on a young coach coming to UW, getting back in her own conference, back in her hometown. Yet she looks relaxed and is enjoying it, and that's going to be felt by her team. They're going to reflect it.
Yep, absolutely. Like I said, she's talking about building the culture this year, building trust, and having fun. Last year, the last couple years with COVID, with coaching transitions, it cannot be fun at times, but she's really looking to bring the fun back to this team.
So we understand the judges are having a, quote, tablet problem down on the floor. Who doesn't?
Yeah, they're conferencing there when they, looks like they both put up a 9.8 start value for Castles. But if they are farther than 0.2 apart in their score, they have to come together and compare to see what the discrepancy is.
Meantime, they're making sure Navarro is still camera ready for her floor exercise in the final rotation. Remember, Washington was leading by 0.2 at the midway point, and Arizona trying to rally on the road and doing it in the reverse order, starting floor in the third rotation and then having to try and win from behind on the beam, on the road, never easy. So now 3 judges join the scrum.
Yeah, the meet referee there, the one with the red scarf, she's guiding them through this discussion. Nola Ayers, she has been a legend in the Washington Gymnastics, the state of Washington. And then Emily Muller, this puts a lot of pressure on her for Arizona. She's a freshman. And also, it's not fun for Morgan Bowles either, who's next up for Washington on beam. And so this is when your coaches and your teammates need to talk you through this. Allison Fears is in the corner with Emily Muller. Geneva Thompson trying to keep Morgan Bowles loose. This is when you are reminded what a mental game gymnastics is. How important it is to be able to go with the flow. Washington, you know, made it through their changes to the bar lineup. We'll see how Emily Muller in Arizona can weather this delay.
Well, I'm watching Washington over on the beam, and they're dancing and they're singing and they're trying to stay loose, and they're not really paying attention to what's going on. They're just having a nice, well, it's almost a little floor party for them right now, just trying to relax. They changed Castle's score, and again, they're going to try to drop it anyway, but you got to get it right in case it counts. Still have Muller, Fears, Harry, and Hargrove to come, but of course now there's pressure on all 4 of them. They're already behind the meet, cannot afford another a break, a fall, anything here would be a crusher.
And Emily Muller is one who really dramatically improved between her junior and senior years in club. She's only been competing a double tuck on floor this is her 2nd season. She got that just in her senior year. So she'll do a double pike to start and a double tuck to close. So we'll see if she can find the landings. Beautifully done. Very nice landing.
Good opening pass.
It's a little bit shy on that straddle fold. The judges want to see 360-degree completion. A layout, nice jump out of it. So she will close with a double tuck. Nicely done. Just a little bit of a slide back. But a great job to weather that delay and bring them energy back to that Arizona floor lineup.
Yeah, I think with her personality, Arizona was fortunate that she was next up. Let's look back at the pass.
Yep, absolutely. So she starts with this double pike. Chest down a little bit, but the most important thing is that your front foot doesn't move. You can take a step backwards, but you have to show control and land solid. You can see her foot slid a little bit on that one.
Her day still to be determined. Had a 9.8 opener on bars, came back with a 9.75, and she will close the meet on beam as well. So we'll see what the score is here. She's in the all-around. Navarro 9.825, so a couple of 9.8 pluses, and then Moody just underneath. And here's Bowles.
And Morgan is a beautiful beam worker. She has a very long line, nice extension through her toes. I like her fingers on beam. I know it's a strange thing to look at, but it differentiates her. But she has been a nervous competitor on beam. She has a really difficult series here. It's new this season. She'll connect 2 side aerials. Needs to trust her training. And unfortunately, that break will probably mean that she does not get that flight series. We will see if the judges count that or not. That's worth 0.2 of a point because it's a required connection to connect 2 acro series together, acro elements. So This is her difficult leap connection. Split to a wolf full. Cheated the feet around just a little bit. This is a new dismount for her. She'll do the side aerial into the back full, or actually she'll do a front aerial, front full off the end, and just a small hop back.
Well, she kept it together. I know it's been an odyssey for her so far this year on the balance beam. You got to work through it.
Yeah, exactly. And she kept her head when she was a little bit off on that first side aerial. She kept it going. And this new dismount, this gainer front full off the end, she struggled with it actually quite a bit in warm-up. So you can tell everyone celebrating when she found the floor there. So it wasn't perfect, but she stayed on the beam. And that's good confidence builder for her to see that she can fight through a little adversity.
Yeah, she's not going to get a great score, but she showed some pretty impressive grit there. Muller with a 9-8, and a chance here for Arizona to get back in, but they have to leave Castle's score behind. Allison Fears had a 9.85 in the quad meet a couple of weeks ago, 9.8 in Los Angeles a week ago.
Opens with a very clean double tuck. Until she thought she may go out of bounds, so she kept her lunge in check. Good extension on the leaps. I'd love to see toes pointed just a little more. Twist, well controlled. Sometimes those forward twisting landings can get a little hairy, but she knew exactly where she was in the air. Front full, finds the landing. That's a much more difficult ending pass than you traditionally see. See a lot of gymnasts do the layout, but she adds the extra full twist in at the end.
For Allison Fears, that's a signature event. She was a two-time California State champion on the club level on this event.
So she'll do the 1.5 twist. You have to finish the 1.5 in a perfect position to be able to do that front full, and she was, you know, inches away from the edge of the floor, so does a really good job to land that and not take an out-of-bounds deduction.
9-7 for Bulls. Kennedy Davis.
In her time at Arizona, she was so consistent on beam. She competed in 20 routines for them throughout her freshman, sophomore career.
So she always pops her toes right before beam. She's had some time. Remember, she was in the vault lineup and now has been sitting around for about 45 minutes.
And she also does that difficult triple series.
Beautiful,
wow,
beautiful.
Just effortless. Nice connection.
All of her beams this year have been at least a 9.825 or better. 9.9 at Arizona State last week when everybody went off on beam for UW with a 49.450 rotation.
She'll do this front aerial right to a beat jump. Beautifully done. Showed nice control out of that.
From that angle on the beam, she's looking directly at her head coach.
She'll do a 1.5 dismount. She's been very good at finding the stick in previous routines. We'll see if she can do it this time. And just a hop forward, but that was one of the only visible errors in that fantastic beam routine.
Washington defending the lead and its own house right now and doing it on beam.
So she, like Lana Navarro, does the triple series, the 2 back handsprings to the layout step out. Really nice form throughout, and you knew she was on, and she didn't second guess herself and is super confident there. So while she's technically a junior, she sat out last year. She hadn't competed in nearly 2 years, and has added a depth and that performance quality to the beam lineup.
Muller and Fears, 9'8", 9'8", 2'5", middle of the lineup. Once again, Caroline Harry.
Now, speaking of someone who hasn't competed floor in a while, it was 3 years. She didn't do floor her senior year. This is her sophomore year, so Coach Court said she hadn't done a floor routine competitively in 3 years.
Layoff did her well. She's gone 9'8", 7'5", twice this year. They would love that score here and tighten the speed up.
Yeah, it was a big double tuck. Unfortunately, took a little bit of a hop back. For these, underclassmen, this is also their first time competing in front of fans. Their freshman year was no fans last season. It's a lot of different atmosphere in here. Very nice front layout, good landing. She was a little short on her double pike last week. Let's see if she can get the chest up. Again, the step forward. The judges want you to step backwards out of a double pike like that, but really, really nice job and good potential for this sophomore. So the double pike at the end of your routine, it's your hardest pass. Gotta have a good rotation. She has clean form in the air, but opens up just a little bit too early. So on a backward flipping pass, you can step backwards. Forward flipping pass, you can step forward. Washington,
so far, already has posted a 49 as a team on beam with 1 to go. And it's their best beamer, Skylar Killow-Wilhelm, who is just simply great in the anchor spot. 9'9" at Cal, 9'9", 2'5" at Arizona State.
She's ranked 13th nationally and does a lot of difficulty. Her triple series contains 2 flips. She'll do a front aerial into a back handspring layout, and then also has a higher degree of difficulty on her dismount. Beautifully done.
Washington hoping to drop poles 9-7. Great opportunity here to have another solid rotation on beam.
She'll do a front toss here. Lands it a little bit short, but dances right out of it. Her dismount here, you've seen a lot of the side aerial to fulls. She does a 1.5 after her beautiful leap series.
Already has 9/8 on vaults and bars. This is her best chance to score big.
So watch for the side aerial here, and then she does a 1.5 off the end. And finds we'll see if she finds the stick or not.
Yeah.
Sort of like on bars, she sticks and doesn't really sell it to the judges, but it is so hard to get the repulsion you need off of just a side aerial. So really impressive. I mentioned this flight series. She doesn't need to do that level of difficulty, but shows such command that she can effortlessly do that front aerial to the series. And then there's her dismount. The 1.5, she has to tuck a little bit at the end, so there'll be some form deductions in addition to that landing, but about the only errors that you could see in that routine.
So they're going to go 49 plus. Just depends on the score for Skylar. Meantime, over on the floor, Arizona has a 48.6 in their pocket with Malia Hargrove still to go.
She is an exceptional tumbler. Watch out for this first pass. She does a full twisting double back. She was an NCAA finalist, qualified last year to the NCAA championships on this event.
And has gone 9.85 twice already this year on floor. If you want to break out of a funk, this is the place to do it.
Huge full in. Holds the landing. Looks very easy for her. Whip half, front full, nicely landed. I'd like to see that ring leap have a little bit more closure between her foot and her head. She'll continue the big tumbling with a double tuck to close. And unfortunately, just a little bit low chest at the end. She had so much height in the air, but has to take that step forward. But already a much better day for Malia Hargrove. Let's take a look again at that full twisting double back on her opening pass. It's an E element, one of the hardest tumbling passes you'll see done tonight. Sets up, controls the landing, and then closes with this double tuck. Let's see, she has the height, the rotation. She just opens up a little bit too early, and so the chest is down, and she has to take the step forward.
Look, it's been a 2-week slump for Malia Hargrove. She went 9.725 on the first 2 events. This number is going to be her best of the day. She still has beam. I'm already happy with what I've seen from her. We were talking with John Court before the meet, and I said, what's going on with Malia? We've seen her gymnastics. We know she's better than this. He says, just happens sometimes. She puts a lot of pressure on herself. We're trying to tell her these freshmen can score too. You don't have to carry the ball all the time. Just relax, have fun, let it flow. And that's what John's talking to her about right now. We know who you are. Got to find it again. Good rotation for Washington on the beam, a 49.150 and a 49.1 for Arizona.